right, the Critical Cat here with Lisa Helps. Lisa is, of course, running a mayoral candidate in the upcoming municipal election here in Victoria City. And Lisa, you seem to be running a great campaign. You seem to be doing very well. It sounds like, from a lot of the word on the street, that you're probably the forerunner.
Feels like it. Yeah.
How do you feel the campaign's been going so far for you?
It's been going very, very well, and that's because of my team. I've never seen anything like it. I've run lots of organizations, but I've never seen anything like the 230 some odd people we have here doing everything they can to help spirit in a new way of doing politics. So of course it's about winning the election, but more important to me, it's about what's been happening on the ground in this campaign and in the city.
Definitely. So can you tell us, just for those of you who don't know about your campaign, can you give us just a brief rundown of what your platform is?
Sure. Yeah, for me there's kind of 4 elements to my platform. One is making sure that Victoria is a place that's affordable for everyone, whether you're just starting out in life or nearing the end of your life. And I hear a lot from both folks and everybody in between. This is increasingly an unaffordable community. So making it an affordable community is really important to me. Another element of that, and separate kind of but related platform head, is supporting our small business community. It's our small businesses that are the lifeblood of this community, and they need support and to be nourished, to have new businesses open and have the businesses that are here expand. Another, I guess the third one that's really important to me is accountability and public participation. We need to do a better job of being accountable to the public, a better job of spending tax dollars, and one of the things I'm really excited about is a better way of doing public participation on an ongoing basis. And then the fourth kind of overarching, sometimes I talk about this one, sometimes I don't, but really bringing Victoria into the 21st century.
Okay.
So everything from transportation to sewage to the way we do budgeting. There are cities around the world that are light years ahead of us, and I'd like to catch Victoria up and make us an urban leader.
Definitely. I mean, those are all great platforms to have, or great concepts to use, definitely on a platform. And I definitely like the last one, bringing Victoria into the
21st century. Yeah.
I think that's fantastic. There's certainly some things we're behind on. One of them certainly is animal issues. I think there's a very romantic or traditional ideology when it comes to how we should treat and live with other animals here in the city. Certainly we see that with things like the horse-drawn carriages. Certainly we see things with the deer call that's proposed in Oak Bay. What is Lisa going to do to help animals in the city?
Oh, that's a beautiful way of asking the question. Well, one of the places I take inspiration from the horse, in terms of the horse-drawn carriage question, is from my colleague on Councillor Charlene Thornton-Joe. And I'm not sure if you've interviewed her or not. And her perspective is one which I share, which is she's worked really hard over the years to make sure that the horses that are doing their work are treated humanely. And I know there are some people who are unhappy with the industry. My feeling is that if we have horse-drawn carriages, more pedestrians, more bicycles, and eventually less cars, more transit, less cars coming into our downtown, that's the kind of thing that I would like to see, rather than banning horse-drawn carriages.
Okay, so you'd like to see the industry stay?
Yeah, I'd like to see the industry stay, and I'd like to, again, I've talked with people in the industry, and their horses are their workers. And so they treat them as most people would treat their workers, with care and kindness.
Right. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, unlike most workers that live in Victoria, BC, they don't have a choice
to be
involved.
And that's true.
That'd be a sticking point.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
They also don't have to haul people through the streets in heavy traffic in an unnatural environment for them. So that would be another big concern, and I know that in the coming weeks there's going to be people bringing that issue to the fore. So as a potential mayor, as animal activists and advocates continue to push to see that banned, how do you think you're going to respond to people and the activities that are going to be based around that?
Mm-hmm. Well, people have been working on this. I mean, we've gotten hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of postcards in the time that I've been on council. So I think to say that people are going to start isn't accurate. People have been advocating for a long time, and I take that in as information. And you know, so far haven't made a motion to ban carriages. So I'll keep receiving the information if there's some compelling evidence or alternative, but I feel like it's a small part of our downtown economy. So I really appreciate hearing the voices of people who care. And I read everything I get, and we'll continue to kind of build the evidence.
Okay, and just for people to know, that postcard campaign is run by the Victoria Vegan, and the web link will be below on the page for you to check out if you're interested. I've talked to people about the deer, and like I think I'm just gonna, because we've talked to a lot of other candidates about this as well. Refer people to Deer Safe Victoria and their survey that they did of many of candidates in Victoria and such, to check that out. I'm going to bring up two new issues that probably I haven't asked anybody else about yet. One of them is the feeding of harbor seals, or seals at places like Fisherman's Wharf. I know in Oak Bay there's seals, but that's obviously not in this municipality of Victoria. We have seen the problem that it's caused, obviously, with deer and other creatures, is feeding and domesticating, sort of, or making them feel so safe. And of course, people at Fisherman's Wharf, very much enjoy feeding the seals, but it also creates, they want them to do tricks, they want them to be entertainment for them. Would you like to see, or would you support a ban on the feeding of all wildlife, including the seals?
Yes, I love it. These are the kinds of solutions I like, that are proactive and forward thinking. We didn't learn our lesson with the deer, and now we have, way too many deer living in an urban area through no fault of their own. Hey, aren't they cute? Absolutely. I think proactive solutions like that are really good ones to implement.
Okay, great. And another one is the live pet sales, because we continue to see this being a problem of animals being dropped off in different communities and such, and proliferating there, rabbits especially being the main one. But we still see people selling puppy mill dogs and cats, and we see mink being sold, all these, ferrets being sold and such. Would you support a ban on live pet sales of animals that have, there's animals in shelters, there's all sorts of unwanted animals that are overwhelming the local shelters?
Yeah, that's a hard one, because where do you draw the line? The SPCA provides a valuable service. If you can go get it.
It's very different, live pet sale versus the SPCA shelter, and supporting people who order from breeders and bring them in and sell them from like big suppliers.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one. I mean, I don't even know if the city has jurisdiction to regulate.
I think Richmond, I believe, has actually banned the sale of like rabbits and such.
And dogs and cats?
Well, no, it's the live sale of rabbits. So if somebody has a rabbit, and at the SPCA they have a rabbit for adoption, it's very different than a rabbit for sale.
Right.
Because the adoption fee goes to, the spay or neutering of that rabbit and such, right? So it's not the same concept.
Okay.
But, yeah. And one other thing, your thoughts on the Luxton Pro Rodeo? Should it be banned? Do we still need that kind of entertainment in, in this region? A lot of people in Victoria care about that issue. What's your opinion as somebody who's probably going to engage with Langford Council in some way, perhaps with CRD or otherwise?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't go check out that form of entertainment myself, and find it kind of heartbreaking that animals are, roped and paraded around. So I guess I don't support it. But am I going to rally Langford Council to ban their rodeo? Quite honestly, as Mayor of Victoria, I think we've got a lot more important issues to deal with in our own city. Okay. So personally, I find it distasteful and not the kind of form of entertainment that I'd like to, even have going on. But my role as the Mayor of the capital city of British Columbia is to stay focused on the issues within our city.
Okay. Just one more quick one. Mandatory spay and neutering for cats and dogs. Would you support that to curb the proliferation of unwanted cats and dogs. The SPCA is constantly overrun. Animal Crusaders, Cats Cradle, all the broken promises. There's constantly too many cats and dogs in these shelters, and it puts a strain on those services, which are really essential to the community, because where else are these cats and dogs going to go? And it takes a lot of people's time up, and it's traumatic. And,
So you mean when they, like, every single dog that's ever in Victoria is spayed or neutered?
Yeah, basically the idea is to try to decrease the amount of...
I think that's kind of unnatural. That cuts off the cycle of life.
It cuts off the cycle of life, yeah. So, I mean, I guess the counter-argument would be that it's not our right to to own other animals as property.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, this would, like, you know, this is a bit strong, but there was a moment in human history not too long ago in Canada where we, you know, spayed and neutered people with disabilities, people with mental illnesses.
Yeah.
And what right did we have to do that? So there's the flip side. If we want beings to be free beings,
Yeah.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from, and at the SPCA, absolutely. I mean, if they want to spay or neuter dogs and cats before they're adopted, for sure. But mandatory, I think we're messing with life there.
Yeah, so you don't think people have a responsibility to make sure that their dogs or cats don't have, say, six or a litter of kittens or
I think
puppies,
people have a
and-
responsibility to make sure that if they are responsible dog owners, and if they do have a dog who has puppies, that they find those puppies a home.
Right, so without any caveat as towards how many they can keep breeding, and because
Yeah,
the numbers...
you know what, I not a municipal issue, honestly,
Okay.
like, honest to goodness, there are storefront vacancies, there's a sewage treatment plant, these things are really important, and I have a dog and I adore her, and
Yeah.
our neighbor had puppies and made sure they all found a home, so
Okay.
I think I'm really appreciative of the conversation and of the
Sure.
work you're doing. But yeah, the mandatory spaying and neutering, there's something that doesn't sit right with me in terms of the cycle of life is about birth.
Right, okay. And, well, you know, thank you very much for your time
Yeah,
today, Lisa.
good questions.
Good luck with the
Yeah.
campaign coming
Yeah,
up.
thank you so much.
Really appreciate you taking the time, and I hope it goes really well for you.
Yeah.
And hope we see you as, well, I have a feeling as Mayor of Victoria.
Yeah,
Falls.
well, and you know, thank you so much for all your work, and it's really important, and don't stop asking us these kinds of questions. No, and don't
We won't,
stop,
we won't.
yeah, and don't stop raising these issues. They're really important issues, so I don't want to say that, you know, I hope that it's clear that I think they're important issues, and obviously issues that you feel passionate about, so,
Yeah.
okay.
Thanks again.
Yeah,
Take
thank
care.
you, okay.